Welcome back to another episode of the Thriving by Nature podcast. I am your host, Bethany Stone, and today we are going to be diving into something that takes a lot more than courage. It takes a lot more courage than, well, most people realize. It is outgrowing people that you care about. So there is a quote. I love it. It says, "Some people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And the hardest part of growing is learning to tell which one it is." So I want to say that one more time. Some people come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And it's hard to tell. The hardest part, is literally telling if you are going to be growing from it or if this is just a short little blip. A story I want to share is I've experienced this multiple times. When I was working on my Montessori certification, I actually moved down to Utah. I did not know very many people there. And I had just one friend from my class who I thought I was really aligned with. And when it was just the two of us, we had great conversations. We laughed. We shared a lot of the same dreams. But whenever she invited me to go to any social events, I actually started noticing something. I felt very uncomfortable. The parties I went to weren't really my scene. There were substances, energy that just did not align with my values, and the environments that pushed my boundaries far past what felt right for me. When I tried to talk to her and tell her how I felt, she would often brush it off and call me a party pooper. She told me I just need to go with the flow, but deep down, this really seriously was not my flow. One night we went to a Halloween party, and that's probably why this story comes to mind because, well, Halloween is this week. I was 18. I was far from home. And once again, I was in a situation that I felt completely against, and I was very uncomfortable. I told her I didn't want to stay and asked her to take me home. She refused to take me home. In that moment, I realized something really powerful. I didn't need anyone's permission to honor my own values. So I told her I was leaving, and I walked out to find a bus stop. I was scared. I did not know the city. I didn't know the route, but I did know that I did not belong in the environment that she was putting me in. So I started walking. She ended up coming after me, and she asked me to get into the car when she pulled up. During that drive home, we had a great conversation and something really unexpected happened. We talked, and we really talked. And I talked about how uncomfortable I felt in that environment. And I talked about boundaries and my values, and that I thought we had the same values and what we truly wanted in life. And what I learned from that conversation was that she actually wasn't even trying to hurt me. She just wanted to have acceptance. And she needed me to show her what it looked like to stand firm in my truth. So our relationship kind of shifted. That night, I ended up becoming a source of strength for her. And in time, she found her own strength. Eventually, she didn't need me in the same way anymore, and our friendship naturally faded into something quieter and something respectful. We still check in once in a while and still send a hi on social media, but we both know that that time in our lives was a sacred time. We helped each other grow, and then we kind of outgrew each other. And that's what I want you to hear today. Outgrowing people is not rejecting, it is redirecting. It's not about cutting people off. It is about making space for who you are starting to become. Sometimes relationships are meant to evolve, and sometimes they're meant to end. but either way, they shape you. There's a quote that says, "A tree is known by its fruit, a man by his deeds." And I want to add to that quote. A soul is known by the company it keeps and by the courage it shows to walk away when the environment no longer helps it grow. So, if you are feeling that quiet tug that a friendship or a relationship no longer fits, you should listen to it. Growth doesn't always mean separation with bitterness. It can mean honoring what that person brought into your life, learning from it, and then continuing on your journey with love. And as you evolve, some people won't understand your new boundaries, your peace, or your priorities, but that's okay. They're not meant to. And you are not abandoning them. You are honoring their path. And one day you are going to look back with gratitude for what you both shared, knowing that you grew exactly the way you were meant to. In those quiet moments of reflection, growth moments, I like to call them, those come with a lot of celebration. It can be confusing, emotional, even painful when relationships shift. But because these are people that you've shared life with, people who may have walked beside you in meaningful seasons, let that be a part of your thriving. Let that be a part of your emotional maturity to learn when you need to hold on and when you need to release. Some people come into your life for a reason. I remember that quote I said, they come into your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. And I think the wisdom that comes from learning which one and being brave enough to honor it is truly a life skill. When you grow, I kind of want to shift a little bit about what happened during this. So when you grow, not everyone will grow with you, and that is okay. Because growth does not mean that you're better than anyone. It just means that you're different than you used to be. And sometimes people fall out of the alignment because of your values, because sometimes our values shift and your energy will change. Or you begin pursuing peace more than the popularity, like what happened in the story I told you. But this is when the courage comes in. It's not easy to let go, especially when you love them or when you've shared meaningful moments or just have had that emotional connection. But the thing that you have to understand that letting go doesn't have to mean losing love. You can still love somebody deeply and still acknowledge that the relationship no longer fits the season that you are in. It's kind of like pruning a tree. When you prune it, you are not destroying that tree. You are making space for the new growth. And sometimes the branch that you cut back that was once full of fruit, leaves, trees, it no longer serves the health of the whole. And so you cut it off. And once you cut it off, the tree becomes stronger and it's able to grow and become more fruitful. That is what boundaries and transitions do for your soul. They help you to become stronger and more fruitful. They help you to stay aligned and thrive. So when I look back on that night that I had in Utah, I see it as a moment of awakening. I've told this story before when I was working with the youth in church about, trying to set boundaries. That was a night of learning for me. It was also a night of peace, and it was worth walking out of that party for. Sometimes I tell my clients that you cannot heal in the same environment that you broke. There's environments that break us, and there are environments that grow us. And if you're in an environment that broke you, you're not going to be able to grow. The environment isn't a place. It could be a person. It could be a pattern. It could be a version of yourself that you have outgrown. There's a quote. Let me see if I can find it here. There's a quote. It's by Maya Angelou. It says, "People will come and go in your life, but the ones who truly love you will never leave your heart, even if they leave your life." I feel like that is such a great truth. You can release somebody without any resentment. You can honor the role they played in your story without keeping them in your present chapter. So if you've been feeling the pull to step away from someone, or if you've noticed a friendship that no longer feels aligned, I want you to give yourself permission to listen to that. It's not unkind to grow. It's unkind to stay stuck out of guilt. Because you have to remember that growth requires release. It requires trust, and it requires courage. And when you think about that, think about pruning of that tree. It served that tree and it was fruitful, but the tree needed to become stronger, and the tree needed to grow in a different direction. And by pruning it, it was able to do that. So that's all that I have for you today. So thank you for spending this time with me today. And if this message resonated with you, go ahead and share it with a friend or somebody who might need it. Because we all need that little reminder that letting go isn't loss. It's love in motion. And as always, I want to invite you to join my free self-care masterclass or explore any of my 5 self-care courses at thrivingbynature.com. So until next time, take care of your mind, your heart, and your growth, because you deserve to thrive. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Thriving